Well, good morning. This is Kent Blaylock with SDG Replays, and we're coming to you live this morning from Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. The date of this matchup between Pittsburgh Pirates and the Montreal Expos is April 7th, 1979. This is Game 2 in a homestand for the Pirates opening the season. In Game 1, the Pirates took a beating from the Montreal Expos with an embarrassing 10-1 loss, getting beat handily by the Montreal Expos to start off their season. We'll be playing this entire season using the Pirates to see if I can get them to the World Series and win. It was not an illustrious beginning, to say the least. It was a beat down for sure. Today's game, like I said, it's the second in their set, and hoping for a little better outcome than what happened in game number 1. Let's take a look at our lineups for game 2 in this set. For the visiting Montreal Expos, leading off and playing center field will be Andre Dawson. Batting in the second spot and playing second base, Rodney Scott. Batting third and playing left field, Warren Cromartie. Batting in your cleanup spot and playing right field, Ellis Valentine. Batting in the fifth spot, your first baseman, Tony Perez. Batting sixth, catcher Gary Carter. Batting seventh, your third baseman, Larry Parrish. And in the eighth spot, your shortstop, Chris Spire. And batting ninth and pitching today for the Montreal Expos and hitting off the number 9 pitcher hitting card is Ross Grimsley. For the home-standing Pittsburgh Pirates, leading off for the Pirates and playing shortstop will be Frank Taveras. Batting second and playing third base, Phil Garner. Batting third and playing in right field, Dave Parker. Batting in your cleanup spot and playing left field, Bill Robinson. Batting fifth, playing first base, Willie Pop Stargell. Batting sixth and playing second base, Rennie Stennett. Batting in your seventh spot, your catcher, Steve Nicosia. Batting in the eighth spot and playing center field, Omar Marino. And pitching and using the number 9 pitcher hitting card, pitching today for the Pirates will be Don Robinson. I will be using a combination of dice roller and fast action cards, and I want to thank the setup you see on the screen today to Dave Gardner. As I was watching him play the other day, it was a pretty clean setup. I would like to be able to show the fast action cards and the player cards, but I just don't have the webcam right now to be able to do that and for it to look clean and be able to see a good view of the cards. What I am going to do, though, is I am going to put up the stadium card. Let me pop that up. So you will be able to see that. So on any range and error checks and any ballpark checks. You will be able to see that. And so it's time to get into this game. Again, leading off for the visiting Montreal Expos will be Andre Dawson. Robinson checks, delivers. It is a tough 72 to Andre Dawson. That will be a fly ball into center field. Hit short center field. Omar Moreno settling underneath it for the F8 put out for out number 1. That brings Rodney Scott to the plate. Scott to the plate, batting .213 against right-handed pitching. Don Robinson. He deals. Here comes the pitch. It will be an in-play 35 for Rodney Scott. That will be a pop-up to third base. He gets underneath it, pops it up. Phil Garner settling underneath it for the put-out for out number 2, which brings up Warren Camardi to the plate. Camardi on the season batting .274 against right-handers. Robinson will deal. Toes the rubber. Brings it. This will be a tough 17, and he strikes him out. Warren Camardi goes down swinging as he strikes him out. Route number 3, 3 up, 3 down. Brings us to the bottom of the first. Leading off for the Pirates, shortstop Frank Taveras. Ross Grimsley on the season is 10-9 with a 5.35 ERA in 79. He delivers. Will be a range check. Excuse me, I have to take a call. Hello? Hey. Not a whole lot. What's up? Okay.
But we're doing it the Tuesday before next week. Tuesday morning.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Did you get the text on? You said you text y'all about it.
Yeah, I've got that. All right.
All right.
Love you too.
That's great.
Bye. Sorry for the interruption. Family matters, Christmas planning, and as such. So we've got a range check. Who will that range check be on? It will be on our right fielder, Ellis Valentine. He has a range of D. So let's check out his range. The range check is a 73 on the roll. And that will be an out. He will reach it, so it will be an F9 put out for Ellis Valentine as he gets on his wheel horse, and that will be out number 1. Here at the bottom of the first. Brings up Phil Garner. Phil Garner on the season batted .305 against right-handed pitching, but I got to be careful. Grimsley's a left-hander. batted 273. So here we go. I may have read the wrong thing for the last batter, but let's move forward. That's a tough 97, and that will be a fly ball into left field. It's a deep fly ball into left field. Warren Camardi to the warning track, but enough room for the second out of the inning as we go to Dave Parker against left-handers, batted 300 with 13 home runs. Grimsley toeing the rubber. Parker digging in. Here comes the pitch. It is in play, 83. And that will be a fly ball to center field. It's a short fly ball. Dawson rushing in to get under it. And he does for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down. After 1, we're scoreless here in Pittsburgh. That brings up Ellis Valentine to the plate. Against right-handed pitching, he batted 260 with 14 home runs. That's a patient 70 for Ellis Valentine. He hits it sharply to second. Rennie Stennett scoops it up over to first for out number 1 for the 4-3 put out. For out number 1. That brings Tony Perez to the plate. First baseman for Montreal, batted 274 with 10 home runs in 79. Don Robinson will bring it to him. Here we go. That's an in-play 30 for Tony Perez. And that is just outside of his single range as he goes to a 29. Oh, hold on now. Wild pitch check. I got to check for a wild pitch. And I got to remember how to do that. He does have the 30. Give me a second while I check this out. Wild pitches. It will be a wild pitch, and that will not matter. There's no one on base. I don't even know why I'm worried about it. That will just be a ball, and we will re-roll. That's a tough 70 for Tony Perez. Y'all forgive me for being absent-minded with that. And that would be a sharp ball hit to Stennett again at second. He fields it easily over to first for out number 2. Hey, Dave Gardner, how are you, bud? You know what I'm going to do, Dave? I think I'm just going to turn off the crowd noise altogether. I was wondering about that. Thanks for the input. Why do I still have crowd noise? Let me look at that. That got rid of it. All right. Up to bat for Montreal Expos, catcher Gary Carter batted .288 with 18 home runs. Robinson toes the rubber. Here he comes. Gary Carter digging in. That will be a tough 90. Gary Carter hits it sharply to short. Frank Tavares up with it over to first for the 6-3 put out. 3 up, 3 down here in the top part of the second. Coming to the plate for the home-standing Pirates, Bill Robinson. Robinson against left-handed pitch and batted .311 with 15 home runs. To the belt is Grimsley. Bill Robinson digging in. Here comes the pitch. It is an in-play 89. That will be grounded to short. Chris Spire up with it over to first. The 6-3 put out for out number 1 here in the second. It brings up the old man. I believe in 1979, Willis Stargell was approaching 40. I believe he was 39 years old. One of the reasons I chose this 79 season as a 12 or 13-year-old in 79, I got sucked into the We Are Family run of the 1979 Pittsburgh Pirates. Willie Stargell to the plate. Grimsley delivers. It's an in-play 15 for Pop Stargell. That will be a hit for Stargell. It is a base hit. It's an opposite field liner that he hits into left field for the first hit of the game, as Pop Stargell is on first. And he will not be trying to steal. He's only a 2 on the steal. That's nowhere near close to even attempting a automatic. So that brings up Randy Stinnett to the plate with 1 man on, 1 out. Ross Grimsley to the plate. And that's going to be a defensive check. Be a defensive check on the first baseman. Let's take a look at Tony Perez. Dave, you and I are about the same age then, I guess. What year were you born? Tony Perez will be a D check. He's a D on his range, so that will be with the range check of 17. That will be a hit. Ellis Valentine cannot get to it on the range check. So with the hit and outfield, it's single, 2 bases. So Stargell will be going to third on this hit by Pop Stargell. So with 1 out, we have, well, I'm a year older than you. I was born in 66. So that's right. I was 13 in 79. I'll be the double nickels in February. Yay. Time flies. So with 1 out, we have runners on the corners with catcher Steve Nicosia coming up, who batted .326 against left-handers in 1979. So the Pittsburgh Pirates have something going on here in a second. I kind of like the fast action cards. It is easier for the range checks and the error checks, but with the rest of the play, I don't see them actually necessary. It's an It's an in-play 77 for Nicosia. That is a fly ball into center field. It is a short fly ball, so no one will be advancing. So the F8 put out as Andre Dawson settles underneath it in short center field for out number 2 with runners on the corners. That brings up Omar Marino. Marino digging in. Grimsley dealing. This is going to be a ballpark check, 33, and that will be easily within the wheelhouse, as the wheelhouse is 83 and 87. Omar Marino, left-handed pitcher, so it would have been to 87, so it is in his wheelhouse. What will he do with it? And it is a 35, and that will be a single from Omar Marino. It's a long single into the gap that will score Stargell and move Stennett over to first as we have our first run of the game. So with 2 outs and runners on first and second, with 1 run coming across, pitcher Don Robinson comes to the plate. He hits off the number 9 card. All right, here we go. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get the idea that it does push you to the charts. I'm not the huge fan of charts, but I kind of like to play the payoff game. Grimsley delivering to his counterpart, Don Robinson. It will be a tough 30 for Grimsley, and he strikes him out. So he ends the bleeding and prevents any more runs from coming across. So not too much damage done there, but after 2, going into the top of the 3rd, we have Pittsburgh leading 1-0. Coming to the plate for the Montreal Expos, Larry Parrish. Parrish on the season batted .297 with 28 home runs against right-handed pitching. Robinson deals. It is a patient 74. And that will be a deep fly into center field, but Omar Marino settles underneath it at the warning track for out number 1. As shortstop, Chris Spire comes to the plate. Batted .222 for the season in 79. This is going to be an in-play 19 for Spire. He does hit a single. He hits a sharp liner into center field for the first hit for Montreal. That brings up pitcher Ross Grimsley to the plate. Grimsley hits off the number 9 card. I'm going to have him swing away. The number 9 card's a pretty good hitting card. Here we go. That is a patient 81. He cannot do anything with it. He grounds it to short. Both of these are 9s on the double play. So let's roll and see what we get. And they turn the double play as Ross Grimsley hits in to the 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. leaving one stranded. So as we go to the top of the fourth, the Pittsburgh Pirates lead 1-0. Shortstop Frank Tavares up to the plate, leading off here in the top of the fourth. We have the top of the lineup. Ross Grimsley will deliver. That's an in play. No, excuse me, that's a range check. And it's an 0-8. That's going to be a hit. The third baseman is hit sharply down third base line. The 0-8 for Parrish. I'm going to check it, but if you look on the ballpark card, it doesn't matter what their rating is. The 0-8 is going to be a hit because the best rating, the A, is 1 to 26. It's going to be a hit. So I'm not even going to pull it up. There's no point. Larry Parrish, he rips one down the line, down the third base line, and Parrish cannot make the play. So Frank Tavares with the leadoff single. Puts a runner on first with Phil Garner coming to the plate. Ross Grimsley toe into rubber. Garner 273 against left-handed pitching. Well, let's take a look at Tavares do it. Can he steal? He does have the steal rating. We're going to try to steal. Let's take a look at this. I'll get my chart out. All right. Tavares has a C still. And let's take a look at my catcher. What is Carter? What's Carter's arm like? Carter has a 2 arm. C2. It's a fair chance. I think I'll change my mind. With a 2 arm, I'm not going to chance it with Tavares. He's going to stay put. Garner's going to swing away. Here comes the pitch. It's a patient 30 for Phil Garner. Phil Garner laces one. He hits it. It is a liner into left center. It's cut off by the left fielder. It's a double, and all runners will score. Tavares will score from first, making it 2-0. Pirates. Dave Parker coming to the plate. Man on second, no outs. Ross Grimsley wanting to end this now. Here comes the pitch. It's another range check, and it's a 14. That again will be a hit. It doesn't matter. Oh, it's a defensive rare play check. No, it's not a defensive check. That's a range check. It's going to be on the left fielder. It will be a hit. So it's left fielder. So it's going to be in the outfield. That will be a double. So that will score Garner from second as Dave Parker drives him in with a double. It was a looping liner into right field. And so we have a 3-0 game with Bill Robinson coming to plate, no outs. Here in the fourth, the bottom of the third, Ross Grimsley's getting lit up. Bill Robinson to the plate. It's another defensive check. This time, we will be checking the pitcher, Ross Grimsley. He is a 2 on the error check. And that will be an out. He does make the play. And it will be over to first for the 1-3 put out. For out number 1, Parker moves over to third. That brings up Pop Stargell once again here in the bottom of the third with a man on third, 1 out. Stargell looking to continue this onslaught here in the bottom of the third. That's going to be a patient 32 for Willie Stargell. And he's going to walk him. He gives a free pass to Stargell. So with 1 out, we have runners on the corner with Randy Stennett coming to the plate. Against left-handers, he batted .246. No worry about homers. Stennett had very little pop to his bat. But it is going to be a ballpark check, and it will be his wheelhouse. So we go to Randy Stennett's wheelhouse against left-handed pitching. And it is a 64. He hits one sharply to second. And he will not double him up the roll of 11. So it will be a fielder's choice. And that will score Parker from third. Now, let me erase that a bit. This will be a sacrifice hit. That was too short. All right. 2 outs. Score now 4-0. I'm not sure what you're saying there, Dave. I'm still learning some of the intricate parts of this game. Still are eluding me somewhat. But with 2 outs, runner on second, Steve Nicosia comes to the plate. Be a tough 68. That will be a grounder to second to end the inning with a 4-3 put out. But after 3, we have The Pittsburgh Pirates up 4-0. Coming to the plate for the Montreal Expos here in the top of the fourth, Andre Dawson batted .269 with 21 home runs. Okay, I got you. All right. Well, I'll have to remember that next time. I read these rules, but you play several different kind of games, and sometimes things match together. So Andre Dawson to the plate. Don Robinson so far pitching a duel. This is a defensive check. The 98 pretty much guarantees it's going to be an out. Checking on the error rating of the second baseman. It will not be an error. The 98 guarantees it's going to be an out. So it'll be a 4-3 put out. For out number one, that brings up Rodney Scott. Yeah, I agree, Dave. There are the intricate things that I sometimes forget, especially when you're streaming, because you're wanting things to flow, and you can sometimes miss the obvious. In play, 68. The pitch to Scott is hit sharply to short. Tavares up with it and over to first for the 6-3 put out. Now Warren Camardi to the plate. Montreal trailing 4-0 here in the fourth. Don Robinson. He deals. It's a tough 0-8, and he strikes him out. He sends him back to the dugout, as that will end Montreal's half of the fourth. As up for the home team Pirates will be Omar Marino leading off the fourth inning. Grimsley set only to go 6. This will be a ballpark check for Omar Marino. It will be in his wheelhouse. Marino against left-handed pitching, 37, and that will be a single by Marino as he lines it into left field for the first hit of the fourth as he leads off. That will bring up pitcher Don Robinson. Again, hitting off the number 9. It's not a bad hitting card, but let's take a look at Marino. Yeah, we're definitely going to see what a B2 is. Let's go ahead and try to steal the base. A B2 is normal. So let's just see what happens. Flip the card, and he is safe. So Marino's still second. So that put Marino on second. Robinson now will swing away. Here comes the pitch. It'll be an in-play 44. In-play 44. It's a ground ball to third. Now, how do I figure that? How do I do it? So he grounds out, but Marino cannot advance. How do I do that on this? It's a ground out to third. Batter's out. Oh, good grief. Ground out. Space. Fielder. Batter's out. Yeah, I'm in detail. It's telling me the fielder putouts do not equal the base runner outs. I'm confused here. Oh, Phil, I got you now. Thanks, Dave. All right. Well, now I know how that works. Appreciate the help. So with one out, Marino on second. That brings up Frank Tavares. Pitcher deals. This will be a range check. A range check on the first baseman. All right. My first baseman, Tony Perez, has a D range. That will be an out as he makes the play. The three unassisted, but that will move Marino over to third. 2 out. Phil Garner to the plate. Ross Grimsley to Garner. Again, a defensive check. I'm getting a lot of these. It's going to be on the first baseman. Again to Perez. He has a 2 error. The roll is a 49. It will be an error on Perez as he lets it go through his legs via Bill Buckner. So that's an E3. And that will score, bringing it 5-0 for the Pirates. Dave Parker to the plate with one man on, and Grimsley coming to the plate. That's a tough 44, and he strikes him out to get himself out of the inning. As we go to the fifth, with the Pirates leading 5-0. Ellis Valentine coming up for the Montreal Expos. Robinson still pitching well, but this didn't jinx him. All right, we've got a rare event check. Last time I did this, Gary Carter got hurt. Rare event. No, base is empty. Line drive single hits pitcher. Check for injury. Oh, man. All right, let's do a roll. So my pitcher, who was throwing a gem, just got line drived and injured. So I'm going to have to pull Robinson. I guess that will be a single for Valentine, I assume. And now Robinson is going to have to come out. I'll bring the right-hander Romo in. So Romo will be my new pitcher. It says Robinson's hurt for this and the next game, but since that pitcher's in a rotation, he'll be available the next time he's to pitch. So Enrique Romo comes in here in the top of the fifth. Romo for the season was 10-5 with a 2.99 ERA, so a very good pitcher. He does have two wheelhouses, but they're at 2 and 12, so that will be rare. And he does have a ballpark at 4. So Ellis Valentine is at first, but he will not have a jump, so he will not be stealing. Brings up Tony Perez with one on, no outs. Here comes the pitch. It will be a tough 98. That will be a fly ball into left field. It is a deep fly ball into left field. Let me check my fly ball chart that I got from the community. I've been wanting to use it. I think with tough, you can't advance. That's right. When it's a tough roll, no advancement. So take a look at that again. Yep, that's correct. So fly ball into left field. Bill Robinson settling underneath it for the F7 put out for out number 1. That leaves Valentine at first with Gary Carter coming to the plate. He delivers. It's an in play 72. That will be a fly ball to center field. Another deep fly into center field with an in play deep fly with a lead runner on first. Will hold. So it's another put out. Marino settling underneath it for the F8. And we have 2 outs. Runner on first. Larry Parrish to the plate. This will be a ballpark check for Parrish. Right-hander. It will be an in play for Parrish. An in play 37. He hits it. He pops it up to first base. Pop Stargell backpedaling just a little bit, settles underneath it for out number 3. As we go to the bottom of the 5th, Pirates up 5-0. Coming to the plate for the Pirates, Bill Robinson. Be a tough 82. And he grounds it sharply to short. Spire up with it. Over to first. Out number 1. Pop Stargell to the plate. Grimsley delivers. This is a wheelhouse for Pop Stargell's. Oh, it's just outside of his home run, but he does. Notice actually outside of his range against a left-handed pitcher. He will lift it. No, actually, he will ground it to short. Spire again up with it. Over to first for the 6-3 putout for out number 2. Rennie Stennett to the plate. Ross Grimsley seems to be filling his rhythm here in the 5th, but in the 6th he will be fatigued. It's another range check. A range check 15 will be on the second baseman, on Rodney Scott. It was a range of B, and that will be a hit as Stennett hits it sharply, but it gets into center field, a sharp liner into center field. As with 2 outs, we have a runner now on for the Pirates as Steve Nicosia comes to the plate. Hey, it's interesting that Grimsley is fatiguing at the end of the 5th, and the payoff pitch has him fatiguing starting in the 6th. So it's pretty close to accurate with both game systems. Steve Nicosia to the plate. It's a ballpark check on Nicosia. Ballpark, it will be his wheelhouse. He has a pretty good wheelhouse against left-handed pitching. It's a 59, but he is offered up the grapefruit and can do nothing with it as he grounds it to second. Rodney Scott over to Perez to end the inning with a 4-3 putout. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. I mean, the top of the 6th, excuse me. I'm not thinking. Grimsley will be coming out. Romo is in long relief, so he will go 3 innings. This will be his second. Chris Spire to the plate. Romo toes the leather. Here it comes. It's a tough 93 as he lifts the ball into left field. hit deep to the warning track, but Bill Robinson settles underneath it for out number 1. That will bring up Grimsley to the plate, but we're going to be bringing in a pitch hitter for Grimsley. He will not be coming out for the 6th, excuse me. Who do I want to bring in? Where? Here we go. It's a right-hander. It's going to be Cash or Macha. Let's see who I want. We'll bring in Cash. Dave Cash against right-handed pitching, batted .326, so that's a pretty good average. So Cash will come in to pinch hit. And it will be a patient 13, and Romo will walk Cash as Cash gets the free pass, has a good eye, and Cash is on first with 1 out, and Andre Dawson coming to the plate. Can the Expos get something going here in the 6th? It's going to be a defensive check on the first baseman. And my first baseman is Pop Stargell, who has a error check of, he's a 5, which is pretty good. It's the 16. 1 to 16 is the error. This will be an out. Stargell with good range on first. Stabs it. Now that he's made the play, we've got to check for a double play. Enrique Romo is an 8. Andre Dawson is a 6. Let's roll for the double play. And it is a 5. Pop Stargell doubles him up for the 1, 4, 3. It'll probably be a 1, 6, 3. Yeah, 1, 6, 3 double play from Pop Stargell. And that'll bring Rodney Scott up with no men on. Here we go. It's going to be a wheelhouse for Rodney Scott. The wheelhouse, he's offered up the easy pitch, but Scott can do nothing with it as he lifts it into center field. Andre Dawson settles underneath it for the F8 putout. And we go to the 6th. And who am I going to bring in to pitch? Probably will bring in, see what I've got coming up here. A lefty, then the pitcher, then a righty, then a righty. This will mean a right-hander. Let's bring in Palmer. Don't want to use Sosa in this situation. Bring in David Palmer. David Palmer, 10-2 with a 2.64. That's not bad. So Palmer comes in. And Romo, the pitcher, will be the first one up. And what card does Romo hit off? He hits off the 7. I gotta find his pitcher hitting card. I'm going to keep him in. Give me for a second. This is the only drawback to hunting down these pitcher hitting cards. Where are you, number 7? There you are. So he swings away. Palmer is warmed up, ready to go. It's going to be a tough 16. Strikes him out as Romo goes down swinging. Check something here. Yeah, that ain't right. Gotta do some erasing here. There we go. I don't remember. I gotta redo this inning here. Here we go. Palmer to Marino. Oh, that's right. Oh, man. Memory. It was an F8. And then a strikeout. That's correct. Man, pretty bad when your memory goes that quickly. I'll bring up Frank Tavares with 2 outs. Nobody on. Yeah, that is a difficult thing, figuring out which pitcher. I forgot Marino had flied out. Oh, your memory. This will be a patient 57 to Tavares. That will be a grounder to second. Rodney Scott up with it. Over to first for the 4-3 put out. And we go to the 7th. Enrique Romo. This will probably be his last inning. As Rodney Scott comes to the plate. It's going to be a tough 99. That will be a fly ball into right field. It is a short fly ball. Dave Parker, the big guy, has to get on his wheel horse, but he gets it at the shoelaces for the F9 put out. Rodney Scott goes back to the dugout. That brings up Warren Camardi. Enrique Romo. It's a tough 78. as he gets another one to lift it into the outfield. This time it's center field. Another short fly ball, but Marino with good speed gets underneath it easily for the F8 put out. And we'll bring up Ellis Valentine. And here comes the pitch. This is a ballpark check. Ballpark 78 for a right-handed batter. That will be a wheelhouse for Ellis Valentine. It's a wheelhouse 39. He will single, a long single into the gap in center field, as with 2 outs, we have a runner on first, and Tony Perez coming to the plate. Here comes the pitch from Romo. Well, let's take a look at Valentine. Do we want him to steal? No, he does not get to jump. Perez to the plate. Here comes the pitch. It's an in play, 93, and it's another fly ball into left field, another short fly ball. Bill Robinson coming underneath it for the F7 put out, and with a runner left on, we go to the bottom of the 7th. Enrique Romo will be coming out, and we'll be bringing in Kent Tacove. What am I thinking? I've got to bring in a pitcher for Montreal. Let's see. We will be bringing in Sosa now to try to keep any more runs coming across here in these last 2 innings. Phil Garner to the plate. Elias Sosa was 8-7 with 1.96 ERA with 18 saves. Here's the pitch. It's an in play, 85. That will be a ground ball hit to short. Spire up with it for the 6-3 put out for out number 1 as Dave Parker comes to the plate. Dave Parker hitting 12 home runs against right-handed pitching. It'll be a tough 48 for Dave Parker, and that will be a double for Parker. Parker doubles opposite field. He goes to left field with it for a double, a 1-out double for Dave Parker. That brings Bill Robinson to the plate. And here we go. This is going to be a patient 29 for Bill Robinson, who singles. It is a grounder up the middle. Runner on first will advance 1 base. Runner on second 1 base. So it's just all right. It's a double. To center field. Batter safe. So home third. That's not correct. This is when I have a little hard time. Okay, detail. It's a double. Into center field. Assist to go to second base. Batter safe. That should do it. All right. All right. There we go. Trying to figure out this scoring. All right. With one out, we got runners on second and third for Willie Stargell. It's an in play 54 for Stargell. That's a ground ball. Too short. On the out. That will score Parker. Oh, man. I got to check runner advancement. Ground ball. I want to do this right. All right, I just got to go about a fast action card. I don't know why I'm making this difficult. It's an in play 54. It's ground ball to short. All right. That will score Parker. 6-3 put out. But that will keep Robinson on first. There we go. So with 2 outs, the score now 6-0. Las Sosa pitching to Reddy Stennett. Defensive check, the 79. It's going to guarantee an out whichever way it goes. The range of the right fielder. Valentine will get to it for the last out for the F9 put out. And Romo will be coming out. Jacoby will be coming in. As Romo did his job top of the 8th. Gary Carter up for the Expos. And away we go. That will be a fly ball to left field. Bill Robinson settling underneath the deep fly ball, and that will be out number 1 with the F7 put out. That will bring Larry Parrish to the plate. That's going to be a tough 0-4. He strikes him out as Nicosia, goes back to the dugout. I mean, man, get my players mixed up. It is Parrish. Parrish strikes out, hangs his head, goes back to the dugout as Chris Spire comes to the plate. The pitching for Pittsburgh has been lights out today after the beating they took yesterday. It's a tough 66. And he grounds to second. Randy Stenton up with it, over to first with a 4-3 put out. 3 up, 3 down here in the top of the 8th. Sosa still pitching. And here in the 8th, Steve Nicosia to the plate. Tough 84. It's a ground ball to short. Spire up with it with a 6-3 put out for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 8th. That brings up Omar Marino as the Pirates want to add to their lead, but feeling pretty comfortable up 6-0. It's going to be a tough 34, and he strikes out Marino as Marino goes back to the dugout, as that will bring Kent Jacoby to the plate. Jacoby will swing away. Elias pitching to his counterpart. And it's an in-play 86. It's a ground ball to short. Spire up with it. Over to first. 3 up, 3 down as we go to the 9th with Pittsburgh up 6-0. And Sosa leading off. They will be pinch hitting for Sosa to try to get something going. Who will I bring in? All right. Let's look. Who's got some pop to their bat? Nobody really. That's why they're pinch hitters. Let's see. Let's go with Jerry White. He will be batting from the right side of the plate. As Jacoby delivers to White. It's a tough 22, and White comes in and he promptly strikes out. So 1 down, 2 outs left for the Montreal Expos, who've been shut out today. Now this is going to be a ballpark, but it's a ballpark 91, which will take us to the in-play section of Dawson's card. In-play 30, and that will be a wild pitch check. Yep, it is a wild pitch, so it will just be a ball. So we'll re-roll. So that's a patient 33. And Andre Dawson will hit a single here in the 9th to put a runner on as he hits a soft blooper into right field. So with one on, that will bring Rodney Scott up to try to get some runs here in the ninth. That's an in play 24, and Rodney Scott gets some wood on the ball. Let's see, Dawson. What's Dawson? I got a 1+. Dawson's run is a 7. Dawson will make it to second. I mean, he will make it to third. As with one out, we have runners on the corner and Warren Camardi coming to the plate. That's going to be a tough 56. And that's a fly ball to left. And that will score Dawson because his run rating's going to have him scoring. So the shutout is avoided as Dawson will score. Oh, I got to erase it now. So F7. There we go. All right. Avoided a shutout, but we have 2 outs with Ellis Valentine coming to the plate. Jacoby delivers. It is a in-play 52 as Ellis Valentine swings. He hits it. It is deep into right field. Going to the warning track is Dave Parker, but it's not quite deep enough, and that will be our ball game. Enrique Romo is credited with the win. Not quite sure how that works out. Ross Grimsley with the loss. Seems like Robinson would have got that win. And Dave Parker is our MVP. Let's take a look at our box score. See Pittsburgh, amazingly, with 10 hits to the 5 hits for the Expos. Batting wise, Dave Parker was 2 for 4. Nothing really outstanding. I think the pitching is going to tell the tale for this game, as Robinson went 4 innings, allowing 2 hits, no runs. Jacoby is the only one allowed a run, while Grimsley pitched 6, allowing 5 runs. So that is our game. Let's just back out of here and exit. And you'll see the week that I've got started here. And let's finish out the week for the Philadelphia-St. Louis game. And let's take a look at our standings. You see with the Pittsburgh at 1-1, we're only into the first week of games, so Pittsburgh will be a game back. But in this stand with Montreal, it's now 1-1. Tomorrow's schedule On April the 8th, we'll again have Montreal at Pittsburgh with Sanderson pitching against Kaizen. And that's our game. I hope you enjoyed it. Dave, thanks for hanging out, and hope everyone has a great day. Soli Deo Gloria. Let's give God the glory he's due.